fans. Welcome to another episode of the Cavs Pick and Roll Podcast, a podcast for diehard Cavs fans. I am Corey. I am here with my buddy Alex. Alex, it's been a long time. How are you doing?
Yeah, it's been a while. Kind of a lot has happened.
Yes.
All-Star game, a few more Cavs games with James Harden, just
Snow has melted.
and
Hey.
then came back.
Yeah, well, that's true. It's melting again,
Then
Alex, right
melted
now.
again.
It's
Yeah.
melting right now as we speak. So, but yes, a little bit has happened. All-Star break went down. Probably not going to cover too much about that now. But the most important thing, Alex, is we are in it. We are in the Harden era. We're about 10 games or so into it. And that's really what we want to focus on is, of course, along with Keon and Schroeder, now here a little bit longer than what they have been since last time we talked, and obviously before the Harden trade. We're starting to see this team um, as what they can be and what their potential can be. And Alex, it's looking up. It's definitely looking up to where we were just a month ago.
Oh yeah, they're looking great. I mean, Harden kind of plugged right in, and
Yep.
man, it's nice having two guys on the floor that can create for themselves and create for others, and all that playmaking. You had that with Garland as well, but just not to this level. I mean, it's night and day.
No, and what I really have liked about Harden so far, we all know he can score. We all know he can get to the free throw line and all that stuff, right? But there's two things. The first one is he seems to be bought in. Now, granted, we're in the honeymoon phase still, right? Only 10 games in. We got to see what happens, a couple months from now, the playoffs and how all that shakes out. But he seems to be bought in, which is great. The second thing is his passing ability is outstanding. Garland was very strong passer as well, but the difference is Harden is bigger. He is here and actually able to play, and he just has had a knack over his career being great at the two-man game with whatever big he is with. And Jared Allen has definitely already seen the advantages of that. Hasn't had a ton of time with Mobley yet. We'll talk about that, but I expect that to also be a great pairing with Mobley as well. And Harden just, man, you can't ignore him. And when he does drive and somebody's open, he usually makes the right play call and makes that pass.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's been great. No, not to throw shade at Garland, but I mean, Harden, like you said, he's got the size. He plays good defense. You're saying he bought in. Um, it's kind of funny though, because like his pregame and postgame interviews, they always ask him, how's it going, fitting in, and
Mm-hmm.
learning the scheme and all this, and his answers are just so nonchalant and generic and basic, and he's just like, oh, we're just figuring it out, and like he never gives any more detail than that. It's like, yeah, I mean, he's here to win a ring, and that's the goal.
Yeah, yeah. As long as that's the goal, I am good with it. I'd rather have that than some egotistical response or some cryptic response or something like that. So again, we are only 10 games in, but just the vibe that I have that I see from Cavs fans, because let's be honest, there was a healthy amount of us that were a little bit nervous, right? How's this going to work? How is he going to integrate? So on and so forth. And I think so far it's fair to say that expectations have not only been met, but also exceeded so far with James Harden. Now, at the end of the day, Alex, it won't mean nothing if they don't win the chip at the end of the year, right? But let's enjoy the ride for at least right now. And to be honest with you, it's made Cavs basketball fun again. Like it's been a weird season. It's been a frustrating season to watch as a Cavs fan. And man, it's been fun watching Cavs these last few weeks since all these trades have gone down.
Yeah, and it hasn't just been Harden, man. Like
No,
watching Keon Ellis and Schroeder check in, it's like just an injection of energy and
I
playmaking,
I
and
I,
it's fun.
I
Yeah.
like it. I won't because I don't want this to come off disrespectful, but it's almost like that spark plug we got when the Cavs made the trade back in the day for JR and Shumpert, right? It's just two guys, rotational players somewhere else that came in and have been able to fit in, contribute consistently, and so on and so forth. So I don't think they're better than JR and Shump, but what I'm saying is like that was two solid pieces that we got in that trade, and have been able to be plugged right in, right?
And the Cavs, they just look so different. They're just playing so different since,
Yeah.
these three players came in.
Donovan
Um,
Mitchell looks so um, happy, refreshed,
mhm.
energized
Yeah.
since that trade went down with Garden with Garland and Harden, right? I think he feels more confident that he has a true running mate now, and that has re-energized him as well, and it's probably contributing to the whole team feeling a little bit re-energized. Jared Allen has been a beast in the month of February. Really just kind of came out of nowhere, and I remember, and I every day it was something different, Alex. But I'll admit I don't remember when, but at some point before the trade deadline, I was like, you know what? If they move Allen, I'll be okay with it. And I've been an Allen supporter. Like, don't move him. His value versus what you pay him is just no. You got to keep him. And man, I'm glad the Cavs didn't move Allen because
Mhm.
man, I forget even what game it was now. It was a couple weeks ago. He dropped 40 points the one
Yeah.
night. He's
Yeah.
been having a monster month. So he's just going to continue to be able to eat because when you have so many options on this team, James Harden, Donovan Mitchell, Mobley, like Allen's literally your fifth option. And as players leave him to go double or help out when Mitchell beats his guy, who's waiting there for the lob? Jared Allen, right? So he's going to eat just as much as anybody else from the additions on this team.
Oh yeah. I mean, and a lot of players that we're used to seeing get minutes are now not getting hardly any minutes, right? Like Tomlin, Bryant, Craig Porter Jr. They all got their minutes slashed considerably.
I'll even, yeah, absolutely. To be expected, do feel a little bit for those guys. But let's be honest, when the playoffs come, no, we talked about this every year. I hate the 8-9 man rotation. But you're not playing 14 guys either, right? And that just speaks to the depth of what the Cavs actually have on this team when healthy. We haven't even talked about Max Struess, right? And even Jalen Tyson has, I will say, somewhat been impacted by this because he's not playing the same amount of minutes he was before. The Cavs are trying to, put Wade back into the starting lineup, and kind of it almost feels like they're trying to recreate that big lineup they had years ago with Marketing, Mobley, and Allen. And Tyson now has to adjust because now he's playing with the second unit instead of being that second kind of fiddle as he was for a while to Donovan Mitchell. So it's been an adjustment for everybody, but I would say overall the team has adjusted well. I think they're 8-2 since Harden has got here. They've been playing outstanding over the last 15, 20 something games now, and just ultimately trending in the right direction. If they would
Yeah.
have played all year like this, Alex, it'd be a much different story right now
Yeah.
with where the Cavs
It's
are at.
just so radically the whole team, I mean, just everybody seems to be playing with so much more of a purpose. It's just night and day.
It is.
It's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. It's like, wow, what got into this team?
We needed to stick though. We need to stick, not just for 2 weeks, right? It needs to stick the rest of the year, and ultimately into the playoffs, which will be here before we know it. I mean, we're recording this on Friday. It's literally March, like in a couple days here, and then you only have a couple weeks into April after that, Alex. So I'm getting excited. It helps that this team is starting to trend in the right direction at the right time, and I'm getting excited for playoff basketball.
Yeah, we really need these guys to stay healthy though, and
This is
we're
true.
starting to run into a little
Yes.
nagging injuries here and there already, and it's I don't know if it's good to get those out of the way now or
Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about that, Alex. You're just looking at the injury report, and the cat. We're recording this on Friday. kind of on our lunch breaks. We'll have this out hopefully before the game tonight against the Detroit Pistons, which is a pretty big matchup, Alex. I would go as far to say it's one of those statement games, right, where the Cavs have an opportunity to show that they belong, but I don't know if they're going to be healthy. So what's that list look like right now? The injury report.
So listed as questionable tonight is Keon Ellis, left index finger fracture, James Harden, right thumb fracture, Dennis Schroeder, right ankle sprain, Dean Wade, right ankle sprain, and then Donovan Mitchell is supposedly sitting out with the right groin sprain.
That's a It's a healthy list, dude.
Yeah,
It's healthy. That's a healthy list of questionables and outs. And with Donovan being out, that definitely hurts. When they sat him against Milwaukee, which is the second night of a back to back, I played it off as they're just giving him a break, a rest. So that's a little bit concerning that he's listed out tonight. And I'll just assume Harden sits out and probably a couple more of those guys. So that makes it challenging tonight, Alex, to go play against Detroit, who's been top of the East all year long. But the Cavs have an opportunity. Maybe you have some other guys step up. Again, the roster is deep, and we'll see what comes of it. But like you said, yeah, we need this team to be healthy when it truly matters here down the stretch.
so you want to talk about a few of these recent games? Let's see, we've had the Thunder, Knicks, and Bucks. Are the last three games we've had here.
Yeah, unfortunately, they went 1-2 in those games.
Yep.
The Bucks game was the most recent. They were missing Mobley, Harden, and Mitchell. That's significant amount of offense there. Um,
I feel a little
Alex,
cheated. Did you watch this game? Did
I
you see how it
did,
ended?
I did.
Yeah,
Not happy, not happy. Um,
ridiculous.
it was going to be a tough game for the Cavs. The Bucks have been trending in the right direction as of late. You're on the road, second night of a back to back, and you're the team traveling. Both teams were on the second night of a back to back. But Alex, maybe for those that didn't get to see, you want to kind of recap, what kind of happened there.
Well, I'm just gonna go to the last second of the game, which
That's
was
all you need.
Jared Allen launching a little sky hook as time ticked off and hit it to make the score tied at 118. And they were going to go into overtime, but then the officials replayed Jared Allen's shot and took the 2 points off and gave the win to the Bucks. Now, I watched the replay in slow motion many, many times over and over and over, and I don't think there was nearly any evidence showing the ball still on his fingertips.
Oh, Alex
That's
has
my
like
take.
Alex like has a letter drafted being ready to send to the
Oh man, I
NBA.
was getting every camera angle. I was like, there's not enough evidence here to roll back a call that you had already made. You had already given the points and said it was a tie game, and then you're gonna reverse it without enough evidence. Like, I don't know, I didn't like it at
Definitely a
all.
tough way to lose that game because again, the Cavs could have thrown in the towel in that game and they didn't, right? And they continued to fight and give themselves an opportunity. Um, you don't see games end that way very often anymore. And I guess that's one of the disadvantages, I guess, of the amount of camera angles and the whole replay center that they have, and all that stuff. So it's unfortunate, um, that they lost that game, and uh, there's really not much more to talk about that game, in my opinion.
I mean, it was a good game. You got
it
to
was
see
it was a good
see
game.
guys get minutes that haven't been getting minutes, like Tomlin, Bryant, Craig
Yeah,
Porter.
I got a little
Keon
bit
got a
of
whole bunch of minutes and played awesome.
yeah. Keon was great, knocking down some threes there early, and I I sat down to watch that game, and I was like, man, this sucks. That these other guys aren't playing, but then I was a little bit excited because I'm like, oh yeah, man, I'm gonna get to see Craig Porter Jr. run around. It's gonna be interesting to see what does Schroeder do in his first start as a Cavs, so on and so forth. But unfortunately, it didn't result in a W, right?
Yeah, they were
Um,
struggling a little bit from 3 point. Keon Ellis, like you said, was knocking them down, but
the amount
Bryant. Bryant took 5 3-pointers for
Uh,
some reason and
he
only
had the
made
green
one,
light,
which
dude.
was super annoying.
I don't even know what the total amount was, but the amount of threes that were being jacked up by
Yeah.
both teams was
Even the commentators were like, it's a
yeah,
3-point contest.
yeah, yeah,
Tyson launched 6 and only made one. Sam
yeah,
Merrill shot 8 of them, which is normal, but only made 2,
right.
which is rare.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely.
So it was an easily, I feel like we could have won it if we
Yeah,
had shot as we normally shoot, but
absolutely,
it is what it
absolutely.
is.
Tough loss, tough loss. But that's one that ultimately I'm okay with. And here's the reason why. They beat the freaking New York Knicks, and they didn't only beat them; they spanked them pretty good. Um, the Knicks are a team that you're chasing in the seedings. I won't say there's a rivalry there, but at least we still have a bad taste from that playoff series a couple years ago, and it's one of those statement games where you want to prove that you belong because up until that OKC game, um, yeah, the Cavs have been having a lot of fun, but it's been against inferior teams if we're being honest, right? So I was a little bit curious how were the Cavs going to approach this game? How are they going to look against the Knicks coming off a tough loss against the Thunder a couple days prior? And Alex, man, this might have been one of the most fun games to watch so far this season.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
were
it
in
was
complete
it was a
control.
fun game. Yep. I mean, it was a fun game for us because, like you
Absolutely.
said, we gave them a butt kicking. Like we led the entire game. We just smoked them. We came out in the third quarter and just smoked them. Held
Yeah.
them to only 11 points. So
The
defense,
Knicks,
I mean, has been on another level. We really, bird dogged them up and down the court, and we're just so many players now that are so pesky on defense.
yeah, it's great watching Keon Ellis switch in a pick and roll, and then that player is picked up by Jalen Tyson, for example. And even Schroeder's a little bit of a nagging, defender as well. Like watching those guys switch, it's like you don't miss a beat, right? As far as the defensive, tenacity and all that kind of stuff, and just making life difficult for the offense. And the Knicks had no answer in this game for anything the Cavs were doing, which was great. Um, so we know, Alex, that the Knicks are now coached by two-time former Cavalier head coach Mike Brown, and I was literally laughing like out loud at times because they just kept going. The camera just kept. I think if I remember correctly, this game was on Peacock. The camera just kept going to Mike Brown,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, man, he still makes the same silly, confused, staring off in the distance faces he did 15 years ago when he was here.
Yeah,
And I was cracking up. I was
yeah.
cracking up at just seeing Mike Brown.
Yeah, seeing
Um,
Mike Brown out there got me thinking about all the ex Cavs coaches that are still head coaches now for other teams. I mean, Mike Brown, JB Bickerstaff, Ty Lue, like
yeah,
they're all over
yeah.
the league. Our ex coaches.
It's
It's
like
kind of
he's
funny.
searching. It's like he's searching for. It's like he's trying to find Delonte. Where's Delonte? Where's Delonte? What? It's just like every time the camera goes to him, he's just like got this look on his face, and he's
Yeah,
kind of just staring off, and he's not interacting with anybody
and he's
hardly. It was just funny.
chawing some gum
Yeah, yeah,
instead of
exactly.
spitting in a cup. But whatever.
Exactly. But no, that was a great win. After that win, we were then tied with New York in the seedings. That's where that Milwaukee Bucks win would have been great to see us move ahead of them. As of now, we're a half game behind the Knicks. Listen, there's still lots of time left in the season. So much can happen here um, with the seeding and all that, but it is starting to get a little bit interesting as the Cavs, Knicks, and Celtics are all within 2 games of each other, really. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out down the stretch. Anything else in that Knicks game, Alex, that stood out to you then?
Um, no, not really. I think rebounding continues to be a little bit of something we need to work on, especially boxing out and letting the other team get offensive rebounds. Like I think I was shouting at the TV during this game um, with Mobley not boxing out. I I believe it was Robinson that he was letting eat him up on the rebounding end. Probably Carl
Yeah,
Anthony Towns a little bit too, but yeah, they definitely need to work on that. And it was really Mobley and Allen, both of them, still seem to get pushed around by these bigger centers.
well, you just reminded me something on Mobley too that did aggravate me in that game. Knicks are a smaller team; they don't have the size that the Cavs do, which plays should play to your advantage, and it did in that game. And there was points in the game where Josh Hart was on Mobley, and I think it was Harden who dumped it down to Mobley. Mobley could not figure out. Mobley catches it maybe 12, 15 feet out from the rim, right? So it's not like he caught it down on the block. He could not figure out how to get around Josh Hart. I think he dumped it back to Harden. Harden immediately dumped it back to Mobley, and just it didn't result in like a quality shot or anything like
Yeah,
that. We've talked about that before. I've mentioned that where he seems to still struggle a bit to figure out how to back those players down. He kind of his go-to move is a spin dribble to try to get away.
yeah,
It's like, dude, Josh Hart's what, maybe 6'4". Um, a little bit of a problem there still, but
yeah.
um,
He pivoted left, he pivoted right, he
yeah,
spin dribble back to the left. It's like
Yeah,
got nothing.
exactly. So definitely areas of his game he still needs to work on. He still needs to bulk up. I don't realistically know how much bigger he can get. But I still think about how big Giannis was when he came into the league and where he's at now. So still lots of time for Mobley. Definitely not down on Mobley by any means. But I did notice that it's like, man, you can't back down their shooting guard. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Um,
And I just took a glance at the box score again, and Mitchell Robinson, 16 rebounds in 19 minutes. That
yeah,
is, you cannot let that happen. That, come on, guys.
yeah. Robinson's one of those kind of goofy guys. He's I don't know if you saw him shoot free throws in that game. Man, what a form there. But he is a big that can do those types of things, get rebounds, get protect the rim and so on and so forth. So yeah, the Cavs definitely need to do better there. But that was really, I would say, one of the very few black marks on that game because everything else, I mean, the Cavs were in control that entire game, which was great to see. They actually tied for total number of rebounds at 44 apiece. It looks like same with assists as well, which is weird. Um, but yeah, just again, one of the more enjoyable games of this season so far. Probably the last game we'll kind of touch base on a bit, and what was a big one because it was kind of used as a measuring stick, right? Or you were hoping so. And OKC even had they were a little bit shorthanded this game as well. But last week on a Sunday they matched up with the reigning champs, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And I went into this game so like pumped, Alex. I'm like, all right, we're gonna see what the Cavs truly are made of in this game. And I'll let you go first. What did you see in this game? What did you think? Ultimately we know that the Cavs lost this game
hmm
on the road, but what stuck out to you?
I thought it was a good it was a good game. The Cavs just came out flat in that first quarter.
Yeah,
They only scored 25 points and let the Thunder score 40. And then so they're playing catch up the entire rest of the game. And they did outscore the Thunder in both the second and third quarter, but they could just never really catch up, never really get back into it. But Mitchell also had an off night. He shot kind of poorly. He went 0 for 6 from 3.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a whole lot more to say about it.
Yeah, it was kind of a disappointing game because of how flat they came out. At one point, I think they got down by 17 in the first quarter, and it's just like, oh, the Cavs haven't really done that in quite a while. Even before the trade, they were doing this a lot in the beginning of the season, get down big, get their way back into it, and maybe even pull out a couple wins. And listen, I mean, to get down that early, there's still a lot of time left in this game. The Cavs had their chances to win this game. They were down I think it was under 5 with just a couple minutes left in the game. So they definitely weren't out of it and they had their chances, but it definitely hurt getting down that big that early. And even with them missing players, this Thunder team has just they have figured it out, right? There's not a lot of household names there. SGA doesn't play in this game. You're licking your chops as a Cavs fan, right? Thinking this is going to be an easy win, and then you realize how many of these guys, just look how balanced their scoring was. Look at their plus minus. Eh, they have guys you never heard of that are doing things in this game, right? Unless you're a Thunder fan, you don't know who these guys are. So just unfortunate, Alex. It would have been great to have that result a little bit differently. That really would have cemented, like, holy crap, the Cavs have arrived. But
Mm-hmm.
it's okay.
Well,
That Knicks game made up for it a bit. If they would have lost that game and the Knicks game, I would have been panicking a little bit.
yeah, right. Well, yeah. I mean, you nailed it. It's one team that has been together for quite a while and
Makes a difference.
is great, and the other team, they've played a total of 5 or so games together. So you could tell that on the Cavs, like there was a bit of like, who's taking the ball, little confusion. Some of the inbound passes weren't like people didn't know what they were doing. So there were little mistakes being made. There was quite a few turnovers being made, errant passes going out of bounds, that kind of thing. Just as they get used to playing together, it'll pick up. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm
Uh,
not too worried. I didn't feel like this game was that much of a litmus test, really. Um, yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's easy to write it off because it's just like, yeah, this team has been together less than 10 games at that point. Yeah, if we would have won that game, we would have been on the moon, right? But yeah, totally fair. And kind of going back to the injuries that are now there again and stuff. This is what we need not to happen. This team needs time to play together. And as much as I want to see Tomlin running around out there and all that kind of stuff, I need the core, the playoff rotation to get time together. At some point, we're gonna get Max Struess back, right? Like, Atkinson is going to have to figure out what that rotation looks like. And if it continues to be a different rotation every single week, it makes it challenging, right? So we need some luck on our side, hopefully. Hopefully this year. Uh, we definitely have had some bad luck the last couple of years at the wrong time. We still have a little bit of time. It's not April and this is happening. So, if the next week or two is affected by some nagging injuries, okay, it is what it is. Once we get into March and definitely into April, though, really hopefully the Cavs can minimize those and we can really start to build our chemistry going into the playoffs.
And we got a couple good games coming up, right,
We
against
do
Detroit, who is the number one team in the East.
play them twice, right? We play them twice
Yeah,
here in
we
the
play them
next.
twice.
Yeah,
So, I mean, as long as I know we got some nagging injuries going on right now, but if our guys get healthy and they play in these games against Detroit, I think it'll be a much better indicator of kind of where they're at the moment. But
yeah.
it's just going to take more time to gel. I think they'll be even better than they are now. Towards the end of March. So
And I'm looking forward to these Detroit games, even if we don't have all of our guys, because I don't know, I haven't given them much credit so far, right? I haven't been paying attention. Obviously, I see that they've been the number one seed all year long. I've only watched them in the games the Cavs have played against them so far, which is, only what, two. So I'm curious to see how they truly look. To see, wow, are they really the number one contender? Are they really a team to worry about or not? I want to give some respect, some love. I think JB is doing a great job, and it's amazing with the turnaround that they've been able to make in what his second year of being there. So we do have to take them, somewhat seriously. But I do want to kind of see how they look and kind of start to pull out those measuring sticks. Same with, I know we have the Celtics coming up here in the next week or so as well. So you just face the Knicks. So as we're playing these teams that are ahead of us, it's just pay attention a little bit more closely because those are the teams that you're chasing at this point, right?
right.
Well, Alex, so other than that, I mean, the Cavs, we just got to continue to see them to build on the momentum that they've had. Hopefully, these injuries aren't super serious yet. I haven't heard a timeline on James Harden yet. Have you heard anything there? I
No, I
haven't
haven't.
heard
I haven't
anything.
heard any timelines.
Yeah, so hopefully that's a good thing. It's not weeks and weeks. I'm hoping, right? And again, just the Cavs continue to trend in the right direction, and I think uh, the rest of this year is going to be a fun season for Cavs fans to watch.
Yeah, can't wait.
Awesome. Well, this is a quick one today. Let's go ahead and wrap up this episode of the Cavs Pick and Roll podcast. I want to thank you, Cavs fans, as always, for tuning in and listening. And Alex, let them know where they can follow us and connect with us.
Follow us on X at Cavs Pick and Roll. Shoot us an email, cavspickandroll@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr. Watch this episode on YouTube. Leave us a like, subscribe, rating, review. We'd appreciate it.
All right, Cavs fans, there it is. We'll talk to you again soon.
Peace out, Cavs fans.